What is good, YouTube? I said I was going to come back Sunday, but breaking news, Alvin Gentry gets fired from the New Orleans Pelicans is unfortunate because it seemed like Alvin Gentry was really trying to go out there and do his best. It seemed like he could never really get people healthy. He could never really get the timing right. He could never really get the defense to be where it needed to be, even though they had AD and they done transitioned into another phase. It's unfortunate that he got fired. A lot of people already thought, just like Jim Boylan, that he would be fired eventually. And he ended up getting a nail today, the hammer, and it was over. But I think when you look at this situation, they have to find somebody that's better. If you're going to go from Alvin Gentry, who has helped them get into the playoffs before, has helped them win a playoff series before when they beat Portland and swept them, you have to find a way to upgrade. And it's important that you find somebody that you can see being with this team for multiple years, as you want to have that consistency. You want to have that loyalty there. And you want to be able to have somebody that can grow with the team, but also have the ability to take them to the next level. So you want a coach that can be a 5-year coach. And it sounds crazy just because Alvin Gentry did 5 years. He did the best he could. And he had a lot of, like I said, transitioning rosters, rotating rosters. And he tried to go out there and do the best he can. He did disappoint a lot this year. But Zion missed majority of this year. Brandon Ingram was their best player, and he tried, but he just didn't have enough around him to really make this team more competitive than they should have been, just because they was in the West, which is already tough. And then the seeding games didn't help them either. Just going out there, losing majority of the games, and y'all can't guard or defend anybody, and it just was a bad look for Alvin Gentry, to the point where people thought that this was inevitable and it was going to happen eventually. And now I just wonder who are their candidates at this point to replace Alvin Gentry. Not saying that he's the greatest coach ever, even though I did meet him at Summer League and I felt like he was a good coach. They just got to find somebody that can literally grow with this team and get them to the next level when the time is ready. But I also got to look at David Griffin. What is he going to do with this roster? Who is he going to keep? Who is he going to trade for? And can he even put a roster around the next coach that can possibly be a championship team? We thought when they got AD and they was going to be in the right direction, and they only got to the second round and that was it. This team had Chris Paul. They only got to the second round and that was it. I mean, Zion is already having injury problems. He's already inconsistent with playing. And then you still have to see how Alonzo develops. You got to see how the other role players around his team develops. And you got to see what they do with their draft picks in the haul that they got for Anthony Davis. They got a star already in Brandon Ingram, an all-star player that can create and score. And he can give you a lot of problems defensively because he just so amazing offensively right now. His confidence is through the roof. You have another potential superstar with Zion Williams. If he can stay healthy and if he can learn how to develop some more skills, he can be a dangerous offensive player. But the thing about it is, you got to find somebody that can actually get this team on the same page defensively. I understand that young teams don't usually play defense and they're not great at it. It takes time for them to learn that. It takes time for them to get on the same page as a unit. And I think that that's going to be something that's interesting to see. How can they, get Zion and Brandon Ingram and Lonzo and all these guys to have a formidable defense to slow teams down and to be able to play elite championship basketball, which they haven't done since, even with Alvin Gentry and the coach before that, Monty. Nobody could get this team and this organization to have that championship level of quality, just because they either didn't have the roster, they didn't have enough, or they just honestly never really was on the same page with the general manager. So in my personal opinion, I don't have a coach off the top of my head that can replace Alvin Gentry. I don't really see a coach that can really take this team to the next level right now. As the weeks go by, we'll start seeing who they're interested in, and I'll update the video on that. But this team is really going to go as far as Ingram and Zion takes them. And if they can't reach that next superstar level, they're great players, but they're not superstars right now when it comes to dominance. this team is going to have a limited shelf life. And the only reason why I say that, yeah, they're young, yeah, they're on long-term contracts because Ingram is going to be a restricted free agent, and Zion got his rookie contract and his restricted free agents. After that, he can be matched. And like I said, with Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, and the players before then, they haven't been able to build a competitive roster, and that's David Griffin's job. And with the future looking as bright when it comes to the young talent, and you having a bunch of picks that you can literally trade or draft or even move up in drafts, it should lead to at least a team that can finally be a championship contender if they play their cards right and make the right decisions. And hopefully we don't see anything significant happen to guys like Ingram, who ended up getting a blood clot problem, or even the knees and the body of Zion breaking down or not being able to sustain. This team should become one of the best teams in the Western Conference within the next 3 to 4 years. And what I'm seeing right now, I like what they're doing, but I feel like they was probably one of the most disappointing teams this year, just because when Zion did come back, they was winning, then they started losing, and then he couldn't even play really. Then he goes to the season game and have a terrible outing. I still think Zion lived up to the hype. A couple bad games don't mean he had a disappointing season when he had a great run, when he was playing healthy, when he came back. But he only can really do so much. People put a lot of pressure on Zion. People put a lot of pressure on him in general as a young player. Even when he was in college, the guy had to continue to live up to the hype time and time again. But we just got to give the man his credit. He can play, he can score, he can finish, and he does fit well with Brandon Ingram. And Ingram, the thing about him now is to have that takeover mentality each and every game, and that and to be able to develop on the defensive end, being a long rangey defender that can switch, guard multiple positions, still rebound and still play make. I think that'll be important. And then putting the right veterans around him. I liked the J.J. Redick signing. I liked the Derek Favors signing. But it never really took them to that next level where I thought that they would be a legitimate playoff team. Everybody kept saying, we want to see Zion in the playoffs. We want to see Zion in the playoffs. We want to see the Pelicans in the playoffs. The Pelicans are good. But honestly and truthfully, they wasn't as good as people wanted them to be and thought that they could be. And a lot of that does have something to do with Alvin Gentry not being able to do his part to the elite in the highest level. And that's part of the game at the end of the day, in my personal opinion. So it's going to be interesting to see at the end of the day who they bring in and how they decide to play their defense and how they decide to, go about running this team and trying to get this team to go to the level which they never reached really as an organization. And it's going to be important to see what pieces that they sprinkle around Zion and Ingram and Lonzo and these guys. So in my personal opinion, they're one of the must-watch teams already, just because of Zion and just because of the scoring ability of Ingram. But at the same time, I still want to see them become champions. That's the end of the day. When you're rebuilding and when you're trading a guy like Anthony Davis, your goal should be trying to win the title after that. And honestly and truthfully, that's something that they haven't lived up to this entire year. And even though they had opportunities, even though they had the schedule, they still could not win enough games. They still cannot defend or contest anybody consistently to have them have a great chance of actually winning the games that they were supposed to. They never was able to dominate the bad teams. They was never able to compete consistently enough with the great teams, and they never was able to even play at the level of an elite team. And a lot of that has to do with Alvin Gentry and his coaching staff not being able to prepare, not being able to get to the point where this team was playing above expectation. Teams like the Grizzlies did something that we thought they couldn't do. The Pelicans did everything we thought they could do in a wrong way, because every time somebody brought up the Pelicans, they talked about them like they was this great team and they were so amazing, and they never played like that the entire season with and without Zion. And I think that that's unfortunate. But other than that, I think that this is something that was going to happen. I think that they should be very patient and very strategic with their next signing, because he will impact the future of this team. He will impact the ceiling of this team, and it's going to be very, very important for him to get this team going. And at the end of the day, I think that that's going to be something to watch out for, and that's going to be something that we're going to have to continue to watch and see, because Alvin Gentry right now is the scapegoat. Everybody feel like it was him. Everybody felt like this team was better than they thought. Now they have time to prove it. The next couple years, by signing and getting somebody else in there. But if it don't work and they never get that far in the playoffs, the coach is going to be the first one to go again. But it could be the talent, it could be their fit, and they might have to make some roster changes in the years to come to really get the right team around Zion and Ingram, as they are the pillars and the cornerstone of this franchise right now. And they still do need to get a third guy, just because Drew Holiday is only going to be on this team so long before he's going to want to compete for a title. And on top of that, he doesn't really fit the age group of this team and what direction they're trying to go in. Plus, you know, you made a trade for all these young players and picks. They're going to have to need the playing time. They're going to have to develop, and the best way to do that is let them go out there and play on the court, which means a lot of these veterans are going to have to go out, and the young players are going to have to get the minutes and get the opportunity, and that's going to help them develop around Zion and Ingram. But other than that, let me know what you guys think about Alvin Gentry. Did he deserve to get fired? Do you think that this should have happened? Or you think that he did a good job and he should have had another chance with Zion playing a full season next year? Other than that, check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody already liked on Facebook. Also, if you're new to the channel, I make videos just like this. So if you like discussion videos, if you like videos like trade deadline, free agency, season previews, breakdowns of legends, players, rookies, and summer league analysis, summer league coverage, even season NBA playoff predictions, even top 10 lists. If you like a video every day and you love the NBA and you can't get enough of it, this is the channel for you. And if you do like this video, check out my plethora of videos on my channel. I have over 1,000 videos on my channel, and there you can find so much different content throughout the years and throughout the days. And if you like that, like this video also. If you like it and share, this helps the channel grow and reach more people. That's a small thing you can do to help the channel. Other than that, merchandise will be in the description. My spread shirt, you can find that there and buy merchandise. You can also buy merchandise through my Facebook page. I have pictures, and you can just, you know, tell me what color you want and what type of shirt you want and what logo you want. I can put it on there and get the color that you want to ship it out to you. Other than that, enjoy y'all Saturday. Hopefully this is the last time y'all see me. And I'll be hopefully back Sunday, like I thought yesterday, coming to y'all with the rest of the playoff prediction, which should be the Lakers and the Celtics if the Portland Trailblazers do win. Other than that, Quinn Wade Basketball Now, so I'm going to enjoy y'all weekend.